What's up, guys? It's JoJo here again, and I'm here over at OneHive Patreon to do a recap on our recent war, which we had. We actually won that one. But before we get into that, I had really liked one of the attacks from this war, which happened to be a defeat. Um, the attack which FistAra did against this number 3. So it's a quad Laloon attack, but what was cool is that I was like, why is he waiting? What's he waiting for? Then you look at his spells, and what he's going to do is he drops 3 of the lightning spells on that one air defense and knocks out the air defense as well as the queen. And then he drops these perfect, it looked like maybe 5 balloons on that one archer tower, and then as you see, the other defenses in the area are can't hurt the loons until they get into the range of that wizard tower. So, oh, and the expo. But what he does is he's going to come in at this first air defense with three lava hounds, but coming from different directions just to soak up all those traps, and then drops targeted balloons on each of the defenses that surround that air defense. He does drop a couple haste spells so that the loons are able to zip in and cross to get to the next defenses. He then uses the very last lava hound, which happens to be the max lava hound, on the back air defense, and then drops his last balloons on that side of the base. So you'll see with the haste going in, the balloons actually get there so fast before the last lava hound is able to pop, I believe. Yep. So then all the defenses are done and it's cleanup time. Good job, FistAra. I also wanted to give a big shout out to FistAra as well as to Lumberhawk, who were the war generals for the next war, which happens to be our big Patreon war here, and they were able to help help flow traffic into getting all our bases attacked very early. Like it was a perfect plan of getting all the lower bases cleared out as soon as possible, and then just working our way up the bases so that we could then use all the last attacks to try to get this Town Hall 11 and the Town Hall 10. It was a little bit of a mismatch in that they had that Town Hall 11 and we had the 3 Town Hall 10s, and I believe they had just the Town Hall 11 and the Town Hall 10, and they had a couple that were also Town Hall 10 that we were able to 3-star. So the first one that I had liked was this one on number 3. It is a Town Hall 9 going up to take care of this Town Hall 10. This is a cleanup attack. It was attacked several times and so what he's doing is he drops the 3 lightning spells to take care of 1 air defense as well as that 1 inferno tower. So that was a really good bang for his buck. Then he comes in from the top with his queen and then drops her healers for her. So he's just going to have the queen clear up a whole bunch of up there and then take out the enemy queen. While that's happening, he threw in some wall breakers so that they were able to open up that first wall, and right there the queen then triggers the enemy CC, and so the he drops an early poison, so the dragon and the loon actually float into the poison, and with the queen targeting the dragon, it was taken out very quickly. So the queen now takes out the second air defense, and from there he drops his king and some wizards, and then starts with the first two lava hounds on the first air defense, and then drops in some loons to zip in under rage, so that he's able to knock out that in the second inferno tower. So with his, he has the um the lava hounds on the first air defense, is dropping the loons to head in, and when that happens, then the lava hounds are able to go across the entire base, soaking up all those traps to go to the second air defense, and where he's able to drop his very last loons into the base so that they can head in to take that out. He has one more loon in the bag, and I believe he then drops it on the far side of the base. Or maybe, yep, okay. I was like, maybe he doesn't. So at the very last second, the last lava hound pops, so he's able to get a whole bunch of pups to help with the cleanup. As you can see, basically the entire base has been wrecked. There's no more defenses, so let's speed that up and get to the next attack. But good job, Tim's COC. So the next attack that I had liked was this one, a little bit lower here. Tommy Guns attacking number 7. This was also a cleanup attack. Was it? So he drops his queen up top with her healers. A lot of the attacks did have a queen walk, and then in addition to either the Golaloon or the GoHo or the GoVaho. So we can see that the queen with healers is a very, very nice a nice thing to add to your attacks, just because the queen is able to do so much you know, for just the space of the healers within your troops, and then the rest, and she's able to knock out so much, get so much percentage of the base cleaned up, while the rest of your attack is able to focus on another section of the base. So from there he had to drop a rage, because she had, I think it was like maybe 3-point defense, as well as a couple splash damage, and then drops in a golem and then some wall breakers, and then some wizards to quickly clean up that funnel while he drops the king, so the king can then come in. He's dropped his jump already, so that the king is able to knock out the enemy queen, and then from there drops his first air defense all the way on the opposite side of that air defense, just so that it can soak up some traps, and then drops the rage right on top of the air defense, so that the loons are able to head right on top of air defense and then zip to the defenses that were behind that, and then has dropped his very last lava hound on the remaining air defense, and then uses the loons with 2 haste spell to get them into the base. You'll see that the haste, because the defenses are clustered, it was a very nice it would have been very nice for them to go from defense to defense. He has one more lava hound that still hasn't popped, and three defensive buildings left. You'll see that which was very cool, that the defenses were targeting the lava hound. It's only when they're hitting the wizard tower, which then hits them as a whole, that he does lose all the loons right there. But thankfully the queen is right there. Cleanup is completely done. His lava hound didn't pop, and there is the 3 stars. So good job, Tommy Guns. The next attack that I had liked was this one on number 11, done by WetE, and this was also a cleanup attack. WetE is also from Chaos Hammers, so shout out to you, WetE. So there he also uses the Queen Walk and then some minions to clear up those two buildings on the outside so the Queen would head into the base. He did have, I believe, no, maybe that was a test wall breaker, and then he uses one last wall breaker to open up the wall. The Queen is now taking out the enemy king, and then is dropping some wizards that were not able to widen the funnel by much, but the Queen has gone in, so he didn't have to worry about the Queen actually going back. So there you'll see this was pretty sweet. Look, he has these troops were actually hitting the Queen until he used the ability on her, but these two hogs took out, I think it was like 3 defenses before they are knocked out. He did have to use a rage on his Queen because with the air sweeper pushing the healers back, and then the Queen having to deal with those targeted, I mean those defenses, as well as having the sweeper push the healers back, she was getting pretty low. So from there you'll see that he has to drop one more rage for the Queen, but with that he's getting so much more for using those rages. He's getting all those defenses up top from her. So he came in on the bottom with the 2 golems. He wall breakered in, and then has now dropped his king, sorry, and then so his king is going to deal with the enemy Queen, and then dropped his Valks as well. So that Queen was completely wrecked in seconds. So the while the defenses are busy targeting the Valks and the golems, he's dropped a few hogs on each of the defenses around, and then they're just going to continue going around the base, knocking out the defenses. Still has a whole bunch of hogs and two more defenses that are left to get knocked out. Right here, the Queen did trigger that one giant bomb, and then she was knocked out. So the healer then turns and starts healing the hogs, which I thought was pretty cute too. So good job, WetE. The next attack that I had liked was this one here by FistAra as well. And so there it's a GoHo. So what he does is he drops one hog to do the lure, and then quickly is able to drop 2 poisons to knock out the enemy CC. I believe that, oops, sorry, I believe that this one is a fresh attack. So there it goes. He dropped his the golems. His hogs are going through the base. He still has a few more hogs, and he just drops them in as is needed around, and then right here where he sees one of the giant bombs will explode, he quickly drops the heal, which saved some of his hogs, and then he drops his last few hogs. Oops, I guess he doesn't drop the last few hogs. He drops the last few hogs for cleanup. So good job, FistAra. Then the very last attack that I had thought was cool was this one here by Shell on number 30. and it is a Govalo, a Town Hall 8 Govalo. So she gets the easy lure, then pulls the dragon up top, where she will do the typical wizard barb clan castle kill. Then from there, she's cleaning up the two compartments in that area so that when she opens up the base with the earthquakes, her Valks would head into the core versus getting distracted, or so using the minion on the top where it just had a mortar was pretty cool, I thought. There you see everything's heading in, and right there will drop the first heal. So the Valks under heal, just wrecking that whole area. The king then takes out the enemy king, and before the very last air defense is done, she's already dropped a whole bunch of her loons. So the base, I mean, it's just so fast how how the Valks haven't even exited the core yet, and all the defenses are done. So that was pretty sweet shell. So good job, guys, over at with this attack, with this war. Um, Whenever we have the next big war, I am looking forward to head over there again. I also wanted to say that this was a collaboration video where Lumberhawk and I chose different chose the attacks that we had liked, and then we'd split it up so that if you look at his video and my video recap video, you will not see the same attacks. So if you want to see even more attacks from this war, just head on over to to his his video, which I will link in the description box below, or you can just search for Lumber Clash, I think. I'll definitely have the link below though. So take care and bye.